morning, everybody, and welcome to what we hope is going to be a really enlightening short time with two people from Yenza. And if you haven't heard about Yenza, I'll say a little bit more about them in a moment. But for the meantime, it's a great privilege to be able to welcome Jared Molko, and I did need to check on that surname because it's so unusual, and Kellie Mannix, and they are both from Yenza. Now, probably all of you, no matter whether you're in preschool, primary school, or high school, will have heard that question, and probably you were asked when you were very small, what do you want to be one day? And there were all those dreams of being princesses and fire engine riders and nurses and doctors and lawyers and all the rest. But obviously, as one gets closer to the end of your schooling, those questions become so much more important. And so we're really excited about having one of our service providers being Yenza, and Yenza, as Jared will explain in a moment, fills that exact space of being able to answer a lot of those questions about what to do next as you get up to grade 10, 11, and 12. And we as parents or as teachers start trying to provide some sort of guidance for the kids in our schools of what careers they should follow. I was tremendously excited the other day to meet with Jared and to see the incredible scope of what they do at Yenza. And I'm excited to be able to introduce him to you today to explain a little bit more. So Jared, I'm going to hand over to you. Kellie will be sitting in the wings, ready to add anything or provide a bit of extra information. But Jared, over to you. Oh, before we do, very important, as I said to Jared before, we're just going to open with a word of prayer. So let us pray. Lord, we thank you that we have this opportunity to find out a little bit more about one of our service providers, Yenza. And we thank you that you have put the children in our schools who are aspirational, excited about their futures. So we just hand over the short time to you as we find out a little bit more about what Yenza can offer in providing that sort of guidance and direction to the children as they start considering their career options for the future. We ask this all in the name of Jesus. Amen. Jared, over to you.
Thank you. What a lovely introduction and a great way to start the session. So thank you so much for the time and the opportunity to speak with you and your schools. So I'm Jared, co-founder and CEO of Yenza, and with me today is Kellie, who is part of our team, and she does a whole host of things. It's hard to put a title to her name, but she assists with making things happen, basically. So what I'm going to do is share my screen and just take you and whoever's listening or will listen through a presentation, which will give a nice context to what our solution is about, and we may have some questions at the end. Neil, could you please enable me to share my screen, please?
Sorry, I should have done that before.
No problem.
There you go, Jared. You should be able to share screen now.
Got it. Thank you. Okay. Can you see this presentation?
Can do. Looks perfect.
Yeah. Great. Cool. So let me just move this. So Yenza means do or commit in Xhosa and Zulu. And so we were quite intentional when we chose that name because we're providing young learners, young people with this really robust careers platform. And we want to provide individuals with all the features and tools and support that they need. But ultimately, it's up to the individual themselves to take responsibility, to commit, and to take action. So you can have the best ideas and the best intentions in the world, but if you're not actually doing the work, if you're not taking action, and if you're not taking responsibility, then it's meaningless. So a lot of what the undertone and the messaging and the kind of way the system is designed is to really motivate and encourage people to take action and to commit. So what we've endeavored to do with Yenza, which is kind of what you alluded to, Neil, in the introduction, is we're building an end-to-end careers platform. So it's a very bold and ambitious endeavor because what you find in the careers landscape is you have people focusing in specific areas but not bringing it all together within a single platform. So you have other solutions that focus in on assessments, other solutions that focus in on skill development, other solutions that focus in other support areas. But what we're doing with Yenza is we're bringing all of these tools and feature sets and support for an individual, taking them through a journey of career guidance, career development, as well as linkages towards different kinds of support as well as opportunities. And so one of the things that is a real sticking point, I would say, for young learners in today's age is, capturing a young person's attention, getting them interested and getting them motivated through an online platform is very difficult. And career guidance traditionally has actually been quite dry in the way that it's delivered. It's a lot of information. It's not delivered in a very exciting way. And young learners, don't have the attention spans that they're used to, and they're used to all of this dynamic, rich, interactive content. And so to keep an individual really engaged through a process is not easy, and is often very much missed when it comes to the career space. So we've paid a lot of attention to that. And so we've developed our platform to be both personalized as well as very engaging and motivating for the young person. And we take them through their own journey and their own process through understanding, exploration, development, and then ultimately orientating them towards taking action. Why this is also important is it also kind of talks to our philosophy and our approach to career guidance, which is we don't tell people what they should or shouldn't do. We guide them through their own decision-making and exploration process to come to the right conclusions for themselves. So we guide, we don't tell. Traditional career guidance and career assessment looks something like this. Someone takes an assessment. They're probably quite disengaged with taking various assessments that are often very long, very cumbersome, very boring. They take this assessment, then they get a report, and then the report tells them what they should or shouldn't do. And so what you have as a result is a young learner is actually very passive in that process. They're not actually having to engage themselves or engage with material and go through a discovery and exploration process to figure things out and to learn and to explore for themselves. And that's where the real impact is. That's where, if you facilitate a process for a person, just like you would in therapy, the therapist may know what the person should or shouldn't do to resolve their issue, but the therapist doesn't tell the individual. A good therapist guides the individual to come to the conclusion for themselves. And so that's what we really focus in on with the Yenza platform. How we do this from a technological standpoint is what we call smart career technology, where we're very good with understanding people, so profiling individuals through our various assessments. We've got underlying algorithms that make recommendations to the individual across the different phases and stages along a career journey, whether it be subject choice, tertiary choice, what to study, what skills to develop, and then linkages to other very useful information. And the technology itself is a very kind of sophisticated technology that helps us deliver the right content in the right ways at the right time. The solution itself falls under 3 pillars. So if you actually logged into the platform, you would see these 3 categories or these 3 areas of myself, my choices, and my actions. Myself is where an individual takes our various assessments and builds up their levels of self-knowledge and self-understanding. This is the cornerstone and foundation of career guidance. So many young people just don't understand themselves that well. They don't understand their strengths. They don't understand how the interplay between their interests, their strengths, their ability, their personality, these are all critical components to understanding oneself, to empower and enable an individual to make the right choices. So we're very focused on building up an individual's levels of self-awareness and self-knowledge, and also to build up a vocabulary, because as we know, young people are very influenced by parents, by teachers, by friends. And so by enabling an individual to have that sense of self-understanding and self-knowledge, and then to be able to articulate that, gives them the strength, the fortitude, and the confidence to then follow their heart or follow their passion or follow what really resonates with them without being as easily influenced as they may have been if they were less aware. The second pillar around my choices is utilizing our various tools to facilitate choice across careers, subjects, tertiary, and more. And then the my actions is where an individual can develop various skills, build their CV, and utilize our support partners and career planning tools that we're bringing to the platform very soon. So just to drill into a couple of the core features on the platform, you won't be seeing the actual platform in action in this particular session, but any schools or principals or teachers that would like to see the platform in action, they can certainly request a demonstration from us, and I'm sure that information will be shared. So in terms of our assessments, we become real leaders in the assessment space. All of our assessments are very fast, very engaging, very inclusive. So we have multilingual technology built into the platform so that individuals can take assessments in their mother tongue. Our assessments use behavioral imagery. They're gamified. They're very mobile friendly, and they're very fast. So our assessments take anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes to complete, where traditional assessments take 45 minutes to 2 hours to complete. And there's a lot of inherent problems with your traditional assessments, especially if they're very complicated and very lengthy. What you have as a result is young learners become very disinterested. They become fatigued. It becomes a tick box exercise for them. They just want to get to the end of their assessment so that they can go out and play with their friends or move on to the next thing. And so as a result, the quality of their inputs into the assessment, the way in which they answer, is not of the highest level. They're not actively engaged in answering these assessments, and therefore the accuracy of the results are not as high because of the formats of these assessments. So we've looked to solve for a lot of these issues through the assessments that we've built. Then we have our Navigator tools, which facilitate fast, intuitive discovery of careers, subjects, tertiary institutions, and various other resources. In terms of careers, which is obviously the cornerstone to career guidance, we match individuals to careers themselves within the platform. We have over 400 high demand, high growth careers. So we actually cherry pick the careers that are in our platform. So we want to focus young learners on where the opportunities are and where they will be. We don't want young learners pursuing careers that we can see are on the steady decline or in the direct firing line of, full scale automation thanks to technology. So we are aligning learners up for pursuing career paths that there is potential for. And also young learners, you were rattling off a few careers, Neil, in the intro. We've done surveys with a lot of learners in schools. We asked them to list their kind of top 10 or top 20 careers. And a lot of these careers are still very legacy careers. So, your lawyer, your doctor, but there's so much variation in the careers that people can choose. And there's so many new careers that are growing and accelerating, almost every day. So we want to make young learners aware of all the options that are available to them. And then we also detail our careers in real depth. And I would say one of the biggest differentiators of our platform versus other careers platforms is what we try to do is we try to really close the gap between career reality and career expectation for young learners. That's one of the biggest areas that mistakes are being made when it comes to career choice. Young learners, as well as parents, don't know a lot about what these careers entail. young learners don't know what they don't know. They often think they know a lot more than they really do. And so the gap between career reality and career expectation is very, very wide. One of the ways you close that gap is that you detail what these careers are about in depth, and you provide rich insights and rich content into what these careers actually entail. And we do that very, very well. And I would say we do that better than anyone else in the market. And so when a learner goes through our careers in our platform, they really get a good idea of what it's going to entail, what is going to be required of them, what is the learning pathway, what are the skills they will need to have, what is the environment like, what are the stress levels like, what is the salary potential, all of these things that an individual would need to consider. They'll have this information at the tip of their fingers. And then we believe that if you have an individual that has the right kinds of levels of self-knowledge and then has the right information in terms of careers, they will make the right choice for themselves. And that's why we're not overly prescriptive in our approach. We don't tell someone, based on your assessment results, you should be an accountant. What we do is we guide the individual in the right directions. We focus their energy and attention to where there's a high likelihood of alignment, and then we let them explore and discover for themselves. And that's what these Navigator tools are designed for. We also facilitate and work very closely with schools around subject choice. We have an amazing Navigator tool that helps an individual figure out the kinds of subjects that they should choose. We map to the entire tertiary landscape. So we map to all of the private colleges, TVET colleges, universities, and technicons in the country, where individuals can explore the courses, the faculties, the departments based on their areas of interest, the career fields that they want to pursue. And then we also link individuals to bursaries and funding opportunities through the platform. So we don't just do career guidance, we also do career development, or rather skill development. Again, this is an area of differentiation between us and other careers services that just focus on the guidance piece. So we've partnered with other highly credible skills course providers. We've recently integrated with Allison, which is one of the biggest online course providers in the world, where learners can get access to over 4,000 free online courses through the platform. So you can develop any skills from self-care, personal development, soft skills to technical hard skills through the platform. These courses are self-paced. And what we do with our partners is that if an individual wants to get a micro-credential, a certificate, or a diploma that they can add to their CV, we're brokering significant discounts with our partners. So there's actual built-in financial savings for parents or individuals if they want to acquire highly credible certification and qualifications through the platform. We're also going to be introducing our own boot camps centered around self-development and career readiness for young people. So that's in development. And we've got a very robust teacher and facilitator training program. So teachers or facilitators can take our pre-recorded video trainings. There's about 3 hours worth of video trainings that a person can take. They can then take our assessments. And if they pass with 70% or more, they become a Yenza certified trainer. The beauty of that is that because the platform does all the heavy lifting with regards to the science and all of the theoretical basis for career guidance, an individual can effectively do 3 hours worth of video training and fulfill the job of a qualified guidance counselor through utilizing the platform in conjunction with the dialogue that they would have with the learner in a school. So the Yenza platform is not designed to replace people. The best use of the Yenza platform is for a teacher or facilitator in the school, in an environment that then can utilize the platform to do the heavy lifting for them, to facilitate the dialogue and to facilitate the discussion and to help guide a learner utilizing the platform as well as in-person conversation. We're also introducing very soon our Action Hub, which is going to bring really a lot of the platform together, which is a gamified experience where you have built-in tasks and activities that align an individual towards their career goals. Schools and institutions, we provide a data administration and insights dashboard where teachers and schools can manage learner access, can track usage, and can also garner rich insights into the learners and to the cohorts themselves. So, you know, an example is we do a lot of behavioral types of assessments. So schools could understand, for example, what are the best modes for learning for their grades. So we have a learning style assessment as an example. They can see the different strengths of a particular grade in terms of their styles of learning. They would be able to adjust their learning approach or their pedagogy in terms of delivering information based on those insights. They can see subject choice, they can see inclination, interests. All of this stuff is very, very valuable in terms of planning and as well as improving outcomes. We are also going to be venturing into the world of AI. So you can't really have a conversation anymore without discussing it. So we are actually in a very advantageous position that we are a technology company and that we're getting a lot of rich data and insights from individuals through utilizing the platform. And so what we're going to be doing in the not too distant future is delivering on an AI assistant. So a career coach for people, leveraging our platform as well as what generative AI and large language models have to offer. And then finally, we're busy finalizing how we're linking people to actual opportunities through our Opportunities Hub. We also play an ecosystem role, so we're very well aware that there are a multitude of other amazing services out there that often young learners and parents are not aware of. So we call these partners upliftment partners on our platform, where we then provide access to these services through the platform. Again, it's similar in how we work with skills partners, where there's if there's a free version, individuals can get access to that, and anything that's paid for, we broker discounts on behalf of our members. So let's say a parent wanted to get online tutoring for their child, they would be able to get a discount for that service through our platform. And so we are trying to add as much value along the career journey as possible to help learners along the way. Yeah, so in terms of our who we are and our traction, so we've reached over 250 schools in South Africa now. So we have worked with a lot of learners across the country, over 30,000. Any school that has utilized our platform has not stopped using the platform, which is always a good indicator of success. And we have various kinds of metrics and surveys that we run. One of the metrics we look at is, you know, how have we increased an individual's levels of confidence or clarity around career path? A lot of anxiety and a lot of you know, social emotional well-being. A lot of that comes down to understanding oneself, understanding one's strengths, understanding where someone wants to go in their life, in their career journey. And so we actually do a lot of that, help with a lot of that, you could say indirectly through the careers platform, but it's very much tied to one's well-being. And we've won multiple awards. We won the Future of Work Award through the Ingenie Education Accelerator Program in 2022. We also won the Global Education Startup Awards in 2022, the Best EdTech Platform for 2022. And this year we got inducted as one of the 12 top education companies in South Africa for the MasterCard Foundation Fellowship Program, which is quite a coveted program to be a part of. And so, yeah, we've got an amazing team of people with a lot of domain expertise and amazing backgrounds. And there's 15 other very talented, we call them Yenzanites, that are all on the same mission to guide young learners towards career success. And that is it from me.
Brilliant. Thanks, Jared. I'm just going to change my own view as well so that we can see each other. Thanks very much for sharing that. And I have to say that I was the very fortunate recipient to be able to see your platform in action the last time we spoke. And I would strongly recommend that for any school who is even vaguely interested in finding out more about Yenza, that they actually make an appointment, that they actually see you, and that you can actually take them through the platform in action. Because I think that that's where you see the real power of what you have to offer. And so, Jared, I wanted to ask you a question. Let's say in our schools, we have a great variety of schools. We have urban and rural schools. We have some quite wealthy schools and others that provide support for disadvantaged students. And I wondered whether you might be able to talk a little bit about the rollout of Yenza or of your platform in those schools. What are some different options? Some schools might have a counseling department, maybe with an educational psychologist. Others definitely don't. I'd say the majority of our schools don't. So how would you see that being rolled out in those schools?
Yeah, great question. So we handle everything virtually. So we would have like an onboarding session with the school. Well, first we would do a product demonstration, like you say, to see the product in action, and that's where the real magic comes through. It's a beautiful product that really works really well. And after we do the product demonstration, we have different options for schools in terms of packages. We pride ourselves of being very affordable. And so even in some instances where schools would like to use the platform but simply don't have the budget or can't afford it, we do work with other corporates where we can utilize sponsorship in some instances where there's certain criteria that is met. Our packages are very affordable. And as I mentioned, we've got different kinds of packages. So generally speaking, we can fall within a school budget, and we can find a way to work with the school if they can't afford. That's just a good thing to note. The reason why we do this is that we're a social enterprise. And so our mandate and our mission is to democratize high quality career services for all. So we always are looking to find ways to work with schools. In terms of the rollout, it would be done virtually. So we would have an onboarding session. We have pre-recorded trainings. We have a lot of instructional material in printout form that we share with teachers. And we work a lot with counselors, educational psychologists who decide to use our platform to carry out their work. And then if we don't have a counselor or educational psychologist in school, we're generally working with your heads of life orientation, because careers and career guidance falls within the life orientation curriculum. And then they utilize the platform, they go through the trainings. And the beauty of the platform as well is it's a very self-directed experience. So we don't actually get a lot of issues with regards to rollouts. Learners find it very easy to navigate through the platform. We provide various channels in terms of support. We're very strong when it comes to support. So we have a chatbot on the platform that learners can ask questions as they go. And we've got 3 or 4 people that can respond at any time to learner questions. We have a business WhatsApp number for teachers to assist with troubleshooting. So we find WhatsApp to be the quickest and easiest way for teachers. So let's say they're rolling out Yenza on a day and a learner's really struggling to log in, they can use our business WhatsApp number and we can interface with them very quickly. And then in terms of feedback, so if a learner or a parent has a question or questions with regards to their assessment results, or they want additional feedback, they can send emails to us through our support email, support@yenzacareers.com. And then we route those questions to our registered psychometrists and psychologists, where we can provide written feedback on any questions. We are going to be introducing additional features where we're also connecting people to mentors, career coaches, and other counselors as well, should they want to have a more personal experience.
Yeah, great. I think you mentioned a moment ago life orientation, and as you were talking, I was just thinking of the real synergy that there is into that program and the world of work, which is one of the substantial parts of life, life orientation. And so I think one of the things that also struck me is the broadness of your platform, that it's not only focused on career guidance, that certainly for those grade 8 and 9 kids that are trying to decide what subjects to take, that's a strong element of the Yenza platform. And then obviously as you move through into grade 10, 11, and 12, there's a kind of honing in on the career side of things. But yeah, I think it's as I said, I was the fortunate recipient of being able to look behind the scenes and see it in action. And it really just amazed me to see the broadness of the platform. So yeah, well done on all the hard work that's gone in behind the scenes.
It's been 3.5 years of hard toil. Sure. It is a major undertaking, but we think that for young learners, the career space is so fragmented, so complicated, so difficult to navigate. And so one of the real things we're trying to solve is to bring it all together and make that exploration and discovery process very fast, very seamless, very intuitive, not just for learners, but also for parents. Yeah. Because, parents are sitting side by side with their kids trying to figure this out. And one of the biggest barriers is it's just the information is just all over the place. So this is part of what we're trying to solve. And quite interestingly, we get a lot of feedback from our schools saying, parents often have a very fixed idea of what they think is right for their kids. And when a parent's having that discussion with a teacher, there's a lot of emotion involved in that discussion. Well, you don't know my child better than I do, and what do you know, et cetera, et cetera. But when you have a platform as a kind of a mediation or an intermediary between, let's say, a teacher and a parent and a child, it opens up the dialogue and it opens up parents and opens up everyone to have a more honest conversation around these things, which ultimately is to the learner's benefit, which we're really happy about.
That's great. Kellie, you've been sitting quietly there in the background. I wondered whether you wanted to add anything or contribute in any way.
From my side, I mean, yeah, I've been on the front line where I've sat with pupils in schools and actually gone through the platform with them. And for them, I mean, they think it's great. They always say, some of the careers they didn't even know about to explore. So no, it's very exciting, and I'm very lucky to be part of the team. And yeah, there's a lot of exciting things coming up. So Yenza, yeah, very exciting.
Thanks, Kellie. Well, thanks for being there in the background. And I must just give Kellie credit because it was she who kept on chasing up that we could actually have this podcast today. So a few final words from you, Jared, and then we'll wrap things up.
No, we're available when you need us. We're here to support. We're very acutely aware of the challenges teachers face, doing what is a real noble endeavor. And, I think one of the kind of benefits, or one of the things that is unfortunate is a lot of the time teachers, especially with regards to having to counsel an individual, they get bogged down with time constraints and administration, and they don't actually get to do the thing that is what they signed up to do in the first place, which is to guide and teach someone. And so we feel with a platform like Yenza, we actually give a lot more time back to teachers and provide that platform to facilitate that guiding process. Yeah. And that's so important for learners. And so we hope you take advantage of the platform. We'd love to speak with you. And thanks again, Neil, for affording us this time.
Brilliant. Thanks, Jared. And to all of our principals or parents or anybody else who have been watching this, all the contact details for Yenza are on the ACSI website on our service providers page. So please do get in touch with them. And I hope that the relationship is a mutually beneficial one as we move forward and hopefully guide our kids towards their passions and their future careers that are going to ignite them for the rest of their lives. So thanks, Jared. Thanks, Kelly. And hope you enjoy the day.